All righty. Oh, we have Zoom? Okay. I'm ready. I'd like to call to order the Open Space, Parks, and Recreation Committee meeting. First, I'm going to read the land acknowledgement. The land that Eureka rests on is known in the Wiyot language as Dredging. Past actions by local, state, and federal governments remove the Wiyot and other indigenous peoples from the land and threaten to destroy their cultural practices. The city of Eureka acknowledged the Wiyot community, their elders, both past and present, as well as future generations. This acknowledgement demonstrates the city's commitment to dismantle the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism. Can we have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Sims,
Present.
Commissioner Brenner,
Present.
Commissioner Mays,
Present.
Commissioner Bareilles,
Present.
and we are missing Commissioner Mallett.
Okay. And now for the approval of the minutes from May 22nd, 2025, regular meeting as submitted. To the commissioners, are there any questions, correction, or comments from the commission on the minutes for the May 22nd, 2025 meeting? And is there any public comment on this item? Or from our people on Zoom? If no public comment, then do we have a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
Yeah, I'll move to approve the motion or the minutes as submitted.
And I'll second.
Okay, let's vote.
Aye.
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 And the motion passes and we've approved the minutes. Are there any commission reports? And there aren't any. And so we're going to move on to public comments. Is there anyone that would like to address the commission at this time? From Carl or anyone on Zoom? Okay. Now we'll move on to old business. Yas Park Improvement Project. Is Robin with us tonight?
No, good news. She's on vacation.
Oh, having fun.
Yes.
So are you going to be doing it, Donna? Okay.
Yes, we've got some, I guess the good news is we have an end date. July 17th is the anticipated end date. That does not mean that the park will be open, as we have a punch list of our own that we're going to be working on. The highlights as of the last couple weeks, the sign is in place, and all of the landscaping is getting prepared for fresh sod. And we met with a potential new muralist because we're going to be putting a really amazing mural on the new restroom. The restroom wall will be right behind the sign itself. The sign is about 5 feet tall, I would say, and then the restroom wall will be right behind it with a beautiful mural. So we're having some excellent progress and we're moving right along. A little bit later, I'll talk about some save the dates for grand openings of a variety of things. But that is our update for today for Yas.
Ask, are you having any issues with connecting with PG&E at Yas versus over at, whatever you call it, the park?
Highland. We have had a lot of challenges, Jeff.
Yeah, we're on schedule for the Monday following the 4th of July holiday, so it'll be the 7th. And it's pretty critical because we have so much infrastructure that requires electricity, like all of our new irrigation. And so to do all the tests and the audits, we've had to hook things up to generators. And then we do the coverage test before the sod's laid to make sure that we have good coverage. And as Donna mentioned too, we'll have a period of time that we'll keep the fencing up around the park to let some of the plantings established before we have hundreds of people on them. We anticipate hundreds of people showing up per day probably. But yeah, it's really taking shape, and the grading is all done and ready for that, and irrigation's in the ground, and then we have to learn all the new tricks. It's all fancy things that we don't have a lot of automated irrigation. And so we're excited, and our staff is too, to have like capabilities such as like Bluetooth from our phone, being able to adjust sprinklers and lighting and things like that. So
Nice.
we're stepping into a modern age with our parks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for that update.
I was also going to ask, what are some of the things that you guys are wanting to do after the official construction, like you were talking about?
Typically with projects, you have what's called a punch list time, and so those are the tiny things. It's like we're going to go through the whole park with a pad, and we're going to create there's a scratch on that. There's a cover that needs to be put on there. It's the final tiny little details, so that we can, complete the project out, finish all the payment withholdings and things like retention of monies and things like that with the contractor, and then file all the paperwork needed to close out a project with, because it's grant funded too. So there's a lot of other little boxes to check. And then there's some little details that, we'll come up with on our own that are our own responsibility, some painting and things like that, some of the ball field area, and get it ready for that grand opening, which we'll talk about in a sec. Yeah.
Any other comments? Okay, let's move on to new business. Recreation Adult Sports League, Steve. You're up.
Hi, my name's Steve Enos. I'm the Community Services Coordinator, and I run the adult sports programs. And I'm here to talk about them tonight. And so some of the importance regarding adult sports is it's important because it does provide a fun and active way to improve your overall well-being. And then also it offers opportunities for social interaction and provides a sense of community, which positively impacts your mental health also. So I'm going to start off with the current sport that we're doing, which is men's and co-ed softball. And so our men's softball league has been averaging about 6 to 8 teams ever since the pandemic. And many of the teams have remained really very consistent throughout the years. A lot of the same players, they keep coming back year after year because they all know each other and they love to play against each other. And our co-ed softball league has really gained in popularity throughout the years. It's where coworkers and friends get together and really, gain camaraderie playing together during those times. And then also, we do offer 3 different options for our co-ed softball. We have an upper competitive, a lower competitive, and then a non-competitive. So we kind of have a division for everybody that wants to play softball. And one of our biggest things about co-ed softball is the success of our co-ed tournament that we have at the postseason too. It's become very popular also.
How many co-ed teams do you have?
Right now we have about 27.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it has really been growing with the 3 divisions throughout the year, and some of the divisions are getting close to maxing out too. So yeah, it has been great. And some of the highlights regarding softball is we just added 44 yards of soil to the fields, 22 at Kennedy and then 22 over at Hartman Field. And that's really made the playing experience a lot better. It's a lot softer and enjoyable out there because, after a while, the fields can get, really hard after a while. So this has really upgraded both of our fields that we do play on. And another highlight for softball, too, is that we have gained 11 teams overall in our program over the last 3 years, too. So it is continuing to grow. Another sport that I wanted to talk about, oops, I forgot some of the slides here. It's another softball slide.
Oh, fun.
And so the next sport is going to be our women's volleyball program. And so this is probably the second most popular sport that we have behind co-ed softball. And right now, we do offer 2 different options for the league. We have an upper division that we play on Tuesday nights at the Adorney Center, and we have a lower division that plays on Wednesday nights at the Adorney Center. And the upper A division has become very popular too, like co-ed, and is getting very close to kind of maxing out on those divisions too. So if we do end up with a waiting list or anything, we may look at maybe adding another night for upper division volleyball too. Wow. And then
That's great.
we do offer the leagues both in fall and the winter spring. And the winter spring league is a little bit more popular because during the fall league is also when high school volleyball and college volleyball is going on. And so the referees and coaches now have a chance to play in our Winter Spring League. And then also as part of Winter Spring League, we do have a postseason tournament that we add to that has been really great. It really allows our upper division, really competitive teams a chance to play against each other in a double elimination style tournament. And so that has been very popular the last few years. And some of the highlights regarding the women's program is definitely the tournament that has been getting more and more popular towards the end of the season. And then also we have gained 12 teams in the last 3 years in the fall league, and then 9 teams in the winter spring league over that same 3 years also. And the next sport I wanted to move to is our men's basketball league. And our men's basketball league has remained very steady throughout the years. It's both in the fall and winter spring. And we do average about 6 teams per season for that. And they do play on Mondays and Thursday evenings at the Adorney Center. Since the league is not really that big, we are considering moving men's basketball to just one evening at the Adorney Center, possibly a Thursday night. And then that's going to open up an evening for a new sport that I'm going to talk about here in a little bit for adult sports. But some of the highlights regarding men's basketball is really our awesome staff that we have. It's led by Jesse Rodriguez. And Jesse is both our official and gym supervisor, and he does that both for youth and adult sports. And Jesse has a wonderful attitude, and he really does a great job managing different personalities that we have in our men's basketball league for sure. And so our new league that we are starting up is going to be a pickleball league. And so, as I mentioned earlier, we are going to condense the men's basketball league down to just one night, and then we're going to add a night, Monday night at the Adorney Center for a brand new pickleball league. And we're still working on the league logistics for this, and we're meeting with the pickleball club representatives to kind of go over on how they want to see the league and how we can run it at the Adorney Center too. And it'll be run very similar to our women's volleyball program. We'll have like 3 different time sets for that, and we'll have 4 different courts going on at each time set. So we have the potential to have about 96 people play within the league itself. And yeah, it's going to be a great new adult sport that we can add to for the community that's really interested in pickleball too. Is there any questions that I can answer?
Well, I have a question. So each one of those participants for those different activities, do they pay like the fee that you would normally pay for a class at the Adorney Center to participate?
They pay per team.
Oh, they pay per team.
Yeah,
okay.
so they could either sometimes get a sponsor that comes and pays for it all, or they all chip in like $20 and then put all their money together.
Oh, great.
Or sometimes half and half too.
Okay.
Steve, are there any other leagues for pickleball in Humboldt County?
There is not.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we have had an existing pickleball program for quite a while. It's mainly like a drop-in, but organizing into something more formal, as well as we have these awesome outdoor pickleball courts, which we're looking to program. We've gotten on Saturdays, there's Humboldt Pickleball Club that they come and set up out there at Highland Park, and it's been very successful. And now that we have all the amenities there in a restroom and stuff, we expect it to grow. And we're even working with those groups to get like some amenities, like some storage lockers and stuff out there to keep some of the equipment out there that people can access. But it's been really cool. So we're looking forward to some outdoor pickleballers.
Yeah, and on Saturday, July 26th, when we have our Get Out and Play Day, it's going to be the first time we're going to offer pickleball during that time also.
Yeah.
Is that it? Well, thank you so much. Are there commissioners, any other questions or comments?
It just seems like a really great program to get that many people moving. It's making me feel lazy.
Ditto, that was
Yeah.
great. Thank you.
Yeah. thank
Excellent
you.
presentation, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And on to reports, the McKay Community Forest Advisory Group. There was no meeting, and I didn't get a chance to get an email from Dennis for an update on work that's being done out there, so nothing to report tonight. Let's go.
You want me to say something?
Yes, please do.
Well, I mean, it seems like we. Oh, sorry.
Microphone.
It seems like we get more and more volunteers every Tuesday. I mean, we have
Great.
Like, there may have
turn on the mic.
Oh, sorry. I think Tuesday there were like 15 volunteers there at Delta Force.
Great.
So yeah, we just keep making stuff, making trails, putting in steps. He already told you about the steps, didn't he? They put in the
Yes, I think so.
steps at out the Northridge parking lot, and yeah, we had a big event in early June in kind of next to Redwood Acres, taking out invasive plants, and then, but the more important stuff is the trails. So yeah, let's see, last Tuesday they did a lot of weed whacking. There's still maintenance that has to go on, even though you're building new trails, and yeah, they're just building all kinds of new trails.
Well, thank you, Carl.
Oh, what's that? Oh, Carl with a C, Klarner, Klarner. Frequent member of, I'm a little embarrassed to say it, Delta Force. Thanks.
I'm so glad you showed up tonight to give us that update. All right. And now we'll go on to upcoming volunteer opportunities. Donna, please.
Yes, we've got 2 volunteer opportunities for July. First is on July 5th. There is an Old Town Beautification Day. Everyone is meeting at the gazebo at 9 a.m. That's July 5th for Old Town Beautification. And then on July 19th, we have an Ivy League event at Sequoia Park that meets from 9 to 1. Carl, anything you want to add? No? Okay. Okay, very good. And those are the 2 opportunities for July.
Okay. Any comments or questions on upcoming volunteer opportunities? If not, we'll move on to parks. Oh.
So we've only tentatively scheduled this, but let's see, that would be
Microphone.
June 12th. I'm probably gonna, if it works with
July
other
12th.
people.
July 12th.
No, yeah, July 12th. Saturday we're gonna have another event at Cooper Gulch Park, removing Cotoneaster and holly. And so just like a week ago, yeah, that would have been, last weekend we had another small event there. There were like 12 volunteers taking out, again, ivy, Cotoneaster, holly. So yeah, the park has so much holly, and there's this section of the park where it's really cloistered and you can't really see very much, and maybe some people might feel uncomfortable going through there because the trails, you can't really see what's off the trail, and because the invasive plants are just so thick. So we're hoping to take out a bunch of that stuff.
Great.
Yeah.
You're getting good participation, it sounds like.
Oh, and yeah, I've been talking to Scott Bauer about that, and he wants to bring in the boys club, girls club.
Good.
So hopefully, but he hasn't confirmed the date yet, but I think it'll work.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that update. Okay. I guess that's it for Parks Capital Projects.
Oh, we haven't
no.
got there yet.
Oh, okay. That
was volunteers.
Right. Okay.
I have a couple updates for our Parks Capital
Okay.
Projects. As you may have seen, driving by, we have a beautiful new swing set at Carson Park, and we got a wonderful photo from Barbara swinging. So our swing set's installed. It's nice and orange. And then we're in the ongoing process with the Qantas Group, as we've mentioned, for the design and approval for the fundraising effort that for their 75th anniversary rehabilitation, I guess, of the playground. And we'll actually be going to the Historic Preservation Commission next week just to get their blessing, and I expect that because Carson Park has some historic items there. And but we're really excited. We also have had a lot of contact with the neighbors that kind of turned into a little bit of a grassroots like effort meeting out there that came from emails, concerns, and I was like, let's meet on site and talk to everybody, and we did, and now they're jumping on board to help with like fundraising stuff, have neighborhood events, cook hot dogs and have a good time and get more people out there using the park and appropriate uses and all good things. So we're really excited about Carson. We do have one more small little piece of equipment that'll be kind of a placeholder until we get the bigger project done. But we're excited. Next, capital project, and this is also going to be a type of a placeholder. You've noticed at Sequoia Park, we had to remove the larger structure. We did it last year. We are in a project with developing and designing what the new playground will look like with a treehouse theme, and we've been talking about for a while. And then we'll be launching our big fundraising for that. But in the meantime, we need some equipment out there. So we bought 5 pieces of equipment that'll be going in, hopefully in the next couple weeks. With local contractors going to help us put those in, and they are several spinners. The Curva spinners. There's a teeter totter, which is kind of rare in parks nowadays, but we found a good one.
So fun.
It's a seesaw,
I love
and it's a double, so there's like 2 on each side, and then there's also there's several spinners. Oh, there's rockers, little cute rockers, and so these will be placeholders. We will be putting up signage saying so, and doing a kind of a release to let people know this is not your big park design, okay? Because we don't want to disappoint. The bigger picture will be, closer to $2 million project, and so we have a lot of fundraising as we've talked about before. We don't get a lot of grant opportunities for that park for various reasons, and so we're very confident though that the community is going to come forward. We hear from a lot of people and how much they love Sequoia Park, and we do too. And so it's coming along. We'll have a lot more to share with you, but I wanted to let you know. I'll try to get some photos when it gets installed, and so you can see. And then, like I said, explaining to the public who's coming to use that these are meant to be placeholders. We will take them out when the bigger project happens and move them somewhere else. But we need some activity and more fun stuff there. Some color too. So that's all I have for, and we are working with Landscape Structures, again, who has provided our playground equipment for Yas. We're working with them again on the design and features of the park. So we'll have a lot of that stuff to share soon. So yeah, any questions about our projects going on?
Yeah, I do. So the Sequoia Park, moving forward with Sequoia Park and then the Carson Park project, those are the 2 big things on the table then for this next fiscal year?
As well as, the fundraising, the design, and then the fundraising efforts for Sequoia. Mm-hmm. We also have Grace Martin Memorial Park, which is down, and that is all ready to go. We are waiting on a notice to proceed. We're getting later into the construction season, and so it is going to happen next season, but we'll be ready. We'll be bidding and all that stuff in December and January so that we're shovel ready already. So that'll be a nice one. And then the Chinatown Monument is also in effect, and that is already past 90% design. Our project manager is working with the group directly, as we are too. And then the Carson Park project will also be next year, by probably later in the summer. But lots of exciting stuff, and I think we're getting a lot of community buy-in, especially once they see what we did at Yas. Every day I'm out there, I'm just like, wow, I can't wait to get people out here. And, so thank you for being patient with our progress there. It's worth the wait.
Thanks.
No other comments? Well, thank you, Jeff. That was a good update. And now we'll move on to the Recreation Revenue Summary for May 2025. Are there any questions or comments from the Commission on the Recreation Revenue Report?
Looks like it was a very successful year.
Yes.
You're closing the year at 167% of projected. Yeah. That's congratulations.
Good job.
Yeah. And we are talking, we're heading in the new fiscal year starting July 1, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Thank you. That's
still through May, yeah, so you've got one more month.
oh yeah. So it's
Yeah, we'll have June revenues
Right.
that we'll report next time. So, yeah, we're gonna bust over the 164%. Yeah.
Any public comment on this item? Anyone on Zoom? Okay, and now do we have a motion to accept the May 2025 revenue report?
I'll motion to accept.
I'll second.
Let's vote. Aye.
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 And the motion passes, and so we accept the May 2025 revenue report. Now we'll move on to staff reports. Donna?
Okay, first thing I want to highlight is a handful of save the dates. We've got 4 really big things happening in the next upcoming months, and we don't have date times for everything fleshed out, but I thought it would be smart to throw some dates on your calendars in the event you would be interested in participating. The first is Highland Park grand opening to celebrate all the improvements that have happened recently at Highland Park, and that's on August 9th, tentatively slated at this point, August 9th for Highland Park. And then on September 13th, Yas grand opening. And staff are working very hard to make these grand openings very special for the community. Lots of fun things being planned. And then on September 27th, we have our annual Sequoia Park Volunteer Month barbecue. So there'll be a big volunteer celebration at Sequoia Park on September 27th. And then the 4th event is right around the corner, and that is Get Out and Play Day. And that's on July 26th. The getoutandplayday.com website is live with all of the exciting activities. There will be a schedule and a passport with oodles and oodles and oodles of fun things, free all over town for all ages and all kinds of activities. Big deal. And I'm going to take a moment because Mr. Steve Enos is here, and this is the guy that came up with the idea.
Great.
I was in the meeting with him, 10 years ago? 11 years ago now. And he brought the idea up at the meeting, and here we are 11 years later. That's a big deal. Yeah. Any questions about those dates?
I'm sorry, could you give me the Dayas date again?
Yes,
missed that.
Dayas is September 13th. And we'll keep reminding everyone and sharing with the public as we get closer. That is all about the events. And then I also wanted to highlight that staff, meaning Jeff and I in particular, are working on a dredging plan for the Bay for 2026. So it's a big process to go through to get all of the partners in place, the funding in place, the permits in place to dredge the Bay. And I wasn't aware if you guys knew that was something under our purview, but that's another thing that we've been working on. Jeff, anything you want to add?
No, it's quite extensive. I'll just say that. The permitting especially.
Yeah.
Is this for the marine?
So yeah, this would be
Marinas?
for city facilities on city tidelands. So there's our small boat basin, harbor, marina,
Yeah.
The fisherman terminal, some of our guest docks. Even we'll do like dock B and the reason why we haven't pulled dock B down is you leave the pilings there so that it's way easier to permit building something in the future, replacing piling versus starting anew. And there has been a lot of interest shown from different agencies, from tribal as well as Cal Poly, about doing some rehabilitation projects at the Dock B area, which is right below the wharfinger. And was, when I first started working here, was a quite active dock for our crabbers and stuff. And it's I've done a lot of the work in the logistics of operating the dredging stuff, like moving all the boats, getting ready, working with the contractor. The permitting stuff is a whole nother.
Wow.
Whole
When
nother
was the last
challenge.
time you guys did this?
2017.
Okay.
So we get to the point where it's pretty much an emergency. We're losing capabilities, especially like when we have minus tides, for people to navigate that. And so it is somewhat of a hazard, as well as, we need to be able to maximize our profit, not profits, but maximize our intake of the funds for those services, and provide recreation. It's our boat basin is primarily recreation vessels. We do have some commercial fleet, but then right adjacent to us, we have like the EDA plant and the other fisheries and stuff. So it's multi-use, and it's so it affects a lot of different groups too. So.
Did you say where will you get the funding for the dredging?
So it's not always sometimes it can come from a lot of different sources. I mean, and even possibly a loan.
Oh,
But
okay.
there's other properties that we have that are rentals, sales. So there's reserve funds that have been used in the past. The other good thing is that we coordinate with all these other agencies, Coast Guard, Chevron, all these different groups to lower the cost for us. We can really help with the mobilization. It's very expensive to bring in all the equipment, the dump scows, which are these giant barge containers that take it out to this place called Hoods, out 3 miles off of our jetty, and it's called Hoods. It's a humble open ocean disposal site. It's utilized by a lot of different areas, even like Southern Oregon, as a disposal site for the dredge spoils and stuff. So there's a lot to do, and then we need to keep our commerce and recreation going in the bay, so it's critical.
And funding for 2026 is pending.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we're working on that too.
So that was some of the updates I had for you, and Jeff has a couple others to add on.
Yeah. Speaking of the harbor, our harbor staff has been working extremely hard getting the waterfront prepped for 4th of July. So that includes like a lot of weed abatement and things like that to prep for. We estimate 13 to 15,000 people come for the fireworks show. The harbor staff works directly with a pyrotechnics group that we arranged 6 months ago. We get all the permits and work directly with them and some local folks. One of our local persons that helps us quite a bit is Leroy Zerlang and his crew. It's a very big community effort to put on a 20-minute show, but it's like when we're exhausted at the end of the day and you see everybody down there having a good time, it's well worth it. And so there will be a daytime festival. The fireworks show will start at 10 p.m. We have to wait till it gets dark enough. And the guys are excited. I know Donald Wilkes, our harbor superintendent, and I had worked on the show for quite a while. We're 20 plus years we've done it. And so, like I said, it's exhausting, but it's a lot of fun. So, and Friday night markets have you guys been to the Friday night market? It's awesome. Please come on down. A lot of the happenings happen down there because of the collaboration of different city departments and through our economic development, our communications team, our park staff is down there dealing with the garbage and restroom issues and stuff like that, custodians. But it's awesome. We utilize a system. It's called Placer AI, and it tells us data on how many people are coming to events, how long they're staying, where they're from. And so just because you carry your cell phone around. And so they're estimated over 7,000 people have been at each of the Friday night markets. So if you've been, you see it. The food vendors are incredible. There's a wide variety of fun stuff. So come on out and check it out. It's just for a couple hours. It's like 5 to 8. And so, yeah, check it out.
The Friday night market really has been something down there, and I can't say enough about how good it is to see some tables for people to sit down and eat their food from those food trucks. Yeah, that's big.
I know we were searching for a place to eat last Friday. We found a stoop over by the museum to sit down
you
on.
end up sitting on somebody's windowsill, and then it's cold, and And no, the tables are super.
Yeah,
good.
as well as the music and like being able to go from one plaza to the next and have a totally different music venue. The food variety is really cool, and then of course all the goodies. And so check it out. And that's all I've got tonight.
Okay. Any comments or questions for Jeff? Well, thank you, staff, so much for all your reports. And do we need to vote on the activity report, or that's just provided to us? Okay. So if no other comments, our next regular meeting will be on July 24th, 2025 at 6 p.m. in City Council Chambers at Eureka City Hall. And the meeting is adjourned at 6:52 p.m. Thank you so much.